Practice Fusion is a free electronic health record provider. Other vendors have had 20 years to make this happen. There's less than 10% adoption in the marketplace. So how we approach the problem different is our product's no cost. It's totally web-based, so there's nothing for the doctor to install and manage. In addition, the product, we have a process called Live in 5. When doctors sign up, they can be up and using the product in a few minutes. That includes connectivity to 50,000 pharmacies, all the major labs. And what that's resulted in is a tremendous amount of momentum. We're the largest and fastest growing electronic health record community in the US. We bring on about 300 doctors a day. We have 50,000 total users with 5 million patients, and users perform about 1 million patient visits on the platform a month. Physicians traditionally are cash strapped, so they write off about 9% of their receivables a year because they can't collect it from the insurance companies. The average primary care doctor in California only makes about 120 grand a year, plus he doesn't have an IT resource, and they're mainly in small offices of 9 or less. So they can't afford technology. Most of our competitors are charging between $50,000 and $100,000 for the solutions. So the doctors, it doesn't make a lot of sense to charge them a lot. That and they're constantly being called and pitching solutions all the time. So we just made the model frictionless. They don't have to pay anything, they don't have to install or manage anything. We handle all the heavy lifting, and that was a lot of it. We did try it other ways, and it was really interesting the feedback we got. So the free is definitely a big part of our magic, but it's not the only part of it. That's the first hurdle, but as soon as you're past that, the next one is implementation, and that's why the web is a great way to implement this and to deliver it to the end user. The problem is that if I have an EMR, the traditional ones, I put it in my office, I still have to connect to all the pharmacies, and if I'm using Quest or LabCorp, I have to connect to them. We manage all that, managing the hardware, etc. So that's the next piece, is actual implementation. Then training is the next piece, getting the office up to speed, updating all their codes, ICD-9, CPTs, medication lists. So I look at the service, it's like a managed service. So a good analogy is where's the electric station? You don't know where the power station is, right? Where's your power grid? You don't know, but you know the outlet is, right? It's in the wall right over there. That's kind of what Practice Fusion's like. We're basically the outlet. It's fully managed. All the heavy lifting is happening in the background with Practice Fusion. For office to try to bring that within their physical space and try to manage that, it's a massive undertaking. So that's one of the reasons we do it the way we do. I think there's risk in any equation. I think the risk is time. So the doctor has to have the hardware needed, even though it's much less hardware than other solutions. He has to be prepared on the hardware and equipment side. He has to have concurrence within his office. The rest of the users have to be ready to go as well, and there's a time commitment as well. But that said, our abandonment rate is dramatically lower than any other vendors out there. So I think there's any risk with any time commitment, and time is money. But the risk will always be there, but it's much less risky than any other scenario or product rather out there. When you have an aggregated community, so we have a lot of doctors and a lot of patients in one place, and it's in one aggregated community. That's where it's this embodiment of individuals. That's when you can start talking to other products or other communities. So that's one of the special things we have. We are by far trailblazing, leading this effort. So today, just recently, I announced we're opening up our platform for other vendors to plug into it. We have about 50 guys already plugging into it, from on the patient side, from drug reminders to wireless scales that upload the weight to the doctor's system, which is us, to blood glucose monitors. So there's a variety of different applications that are being plugged into it. So it's a mashup, and the reality is that no vendor can boil the ocean and provide everything to everyone, but we are the epicenter of all physician activity. The EMR is the heart of everything they do, and we have all the data. So being open allows other vendors to plug into us, and when a doctor goes to make a decision, the product has to have enough functionality to serve him, and having all the partnerships with all the other vendors allows him to look at this more holistically, not just EMR. It's scheduling, EMR, patient reminders, integration with devices, and this this configuration might work better for him and is enough for him to start, make the leap and adopt a product. So having that openness, having that connectivity and those other partners is definitely key to this, and we're leading the way. We just opened up our platform, so we're really excited about that. It's case by case. Some players do it based off advertising volume. So if you're a patient and you use their platform, there might be advertising and we might bring users to them, so the advertising might be beneficial. Some users charge for their service, so one of them might be a drug interaction checker. While you're managing or handling or interacting with your patient, this application might help me. I might reference it to go, are his medications the right ones, and is there any risk to combining this medication with that one? That vendor might charge a monthly service fee, for example. So there's different business models, advertising, subscription-based, some are percent of revenue, so it depends, but that's really agnostic of us. We have a very high quality user base. We know the users are actually doctors, we know their specialties, so providing highly targeted, highly specific advertising. And then what's really critical for us is that we vet every advertisement going in the product. So there's no kind of joke sites or spam. It's all high quality advertising, and the doctors really enjoy the content as well. It's usually research and reference content to help them, learn about new products, drugs, devices, and get educated on those as well.